How are you?
Hey, it's good. Good to see you again, James.
Good to see you again as well.
Congratulations. This time around, Darkness of Man.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel like we get to talk every few months here, right?
Right, that's right. You keep on doing the projects, I keep on talking to you. So this time around, tell us what sparked you to write the story for Darkness of Man.
I worked with Alethea Cho, the other writer, and what we really got excited about was making a new age noir. So I was really excited to hark back to the films like I grew up on, like The Maltese Falcon and Double Indemnity, The Third Man, Angels with Dirty Faces, Casablanca. These movies about flawed heroes that are trying to hold themselves together while falling apart, that have some mystery in them and some action, and that's what this movie is.
This is such a turn from your previous movies of action films. I mean, it's also a huge turn of the when I started watching your films was like horror. But tell, tell us about the style that you want to adapt for. Sort of, you're right. It is like a detective noir type of style.
Yeah, I wanted to take, like, what would a detective noir film look like now? And what does noir look like with color was the first idea. And then, like, okay, how do we take, an action star that's going to want to play their age, play an alcoholic, be flawed, and still kick some ass, but they're just actually, no pun intended, getting too old for this, like in, the idea of Lethal Weapon, but like in a real world, like actually not joking about it, like they're too old, but still fighting out of love and fighting to save somebody they care about. And I feel like it raises the stakes, because of him feeling, because of JC's character feeling so human and flawed. There's a feeling the entire movie that he might not make it through this, and I think like that raises the stakes the entire time. And we really wanted to dive into, like, the human nature and really finding that darkness of man.
Yeah. So, how did you end up with Jean-Claude Van Damme as this flawed action character for your film?
JC and I had talked, many times, as I was developing the project, and he was just really game for it. And I think, I was blessed to have been able to have him on board, and I think it's very exciting for audiences to see a side of him they've never seen before. Like when we're saying like this is noir, it's full pulpy noir. Like you have real, intense noir voiceovers from JC throughout the entire film, and I'm really excited for people to see this.
So, when you have such a iconic action stars like JC here, how do you convince him to tone it down? Because I have never seen him getting beaten up so much in a film before. This is quite
Yeah,
different.
I mean, we were very fortunate that he was down for the human aspect of the film, and I think that's definitely, it shows. And real people get beaten up. Not a action stars kick ass the entire time and take no damage except like maybe like like one punch. Like real people, when they're fighting multiple people, like they get hurt. And I think that that's what's really exciting about this movie. It raises the stakes, and I think I'm excited for people to see this.
Now, of course, the gang war. Not only that, you challenge yourself as a not one front for a gang war, but like two fronts. You have the Koreans and the Russians and everybody else in different languages. Tell us about the challenges of all of that. with you?
It was definitely challenging. But I cast actors that actually spoke the language, which helped. But what was really exciting for me as well is like my favorite movie of all time is Old Boy. Which is Park Chan-wook's Old Boy, and the whole Vengeance trilogy, which also is kind of noir in itself as well. Old Boy is definitely a noir in its own right, like a neo noir, and being able to actually do a movie that's like partially in Korean, like my favorite. In middle school, I went to a predominantly Korean middle school. So, how I made friends a lot of the time was, they would hand me copies of like Old Boy or like, movies like Shilmido and all these Korean movies that I grew up on. And you know, being able to actually make a movie that's partially in Korean was so exciting for me. And I remember when I was talking with Peter J, who plays Daeun in the film, and I was talking to him about like all these other Korean movies. He's like, wait, you actually have seen some of these movies? And we really nerded out about Korean films. So it was really exciting to be able to dive into that space.
Now, your list of actors that you act and talent that you worked with: Bruce Willis, Mel Gibson, Steven Seagal, now JC, and not only that, you even have a couple of cameos with Shannon Doherty and Cynthia Rothrock in this film.
Yeah.
Gosh, do you just have like a list of people that you want to
Yeah.
work with?
Well, yeah, so I grew up watching movies, so I've my casting process is very different than a lot of people's. Like I don't really like auditions. I like watching movies and going, I want to work with that person, like I get excited by seeing somebody in a movie and going, I want to work with, and really like it's a lot of the people that I grew up watching in movies, and I'm like, they're the people that inspired me to want to make movies. So, or watching them in TV shows and stuff. So it's what made me want to work with all these people. And I've just been really blessed that they've allowed me to work with them.
Excellent. Well, James, I have time for one more last question, and I'm going to take a different turn because maybe a lot of people don't know. At least I don't know. You worked on the soundtrack. I did not know you're a musician too.
Yeah, me and my buddy Alex Chillog, who I've been friends with since ninth grade, we made a rap song that plays in the movie, and I rap in it. And it's like on Spotify right now. It's got like 54,000, 55,000 listens. But it's a fun song. So I'm excited. It plays in the scene where Spencer Breslin's playing video games. So if you guys if you see that, it's a fun little Easter egg.
Well, it's excellent. Well, James, thank you very much for carrying this conversation for us for Darkness of Man. Everyone needs to check it out, especially if you love these noir movies. And James, I'm certain we're going to talk again in a few months.
I hope so. I can't wait to talk to you again. Thank you so much. And
Hey,
check
hey,
out Darkness of Man, everybody.
next time. Thank you.